Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Sean here with BlueRidgeSilverhound, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is the final Monday market report for the month of May. As you can see, week ending May 28th, 2023. It's Memorial Day weekend, so I hope you guys are doing well. And, once more, I wanted to take the time to call on some of our service members, both men and women, that have lost their lives to protect us and our country. You will not be forgotten. And any time of the year, you guys and your families are in my prayers. So I hope everyone's doing well. And welcome back to another Coin Monday Market Report. And, even on a holiday weekend, the market continues to plug along. We have great collections, realized sales to talk about. A few coins on the list today have really blown my mind. Not in a sense like, wow, it sold for a lot of money, but more so like, wow, people are still finding these out there in the wild. Whether that's sorting through change or, actually going out and cherry picking some of these at big coin shows and shops and whatnot. It's remarkable the potential that exists out there in the world today when it comes to the hobby and making the most of it. So we're going to take some time to take a look at that. Now, if this is your first time here checking out one of these market report videos, it's real simple. We check out and kind of talk about some of the more prevalent post-1900 modern era of graded coins to have hit the market here in the last 7 days. Great Collections is one of my favorite auction sites to use because, well, not only are they great and I buy from them all the time, but they are kind of like the ultimate barometer check when it comes to not only the modern market, but the entire market as a whole. I think they have become one of the top leading market share companies of the industry, beating out some of the other big ones. And I would say they are, by far way better than what eBay can provide in terms of accurate market data. So many kudos to Ian, Russell, and the team. You guys have been running a tight ship, and I'm glad to be able to present a video like this where we take a look and see how the wheels of this proverbial bus is churning and running and spinning round and round. So I want to take some time to personally thank you guys for tuning in again on what should be another fantastic Monday market report. And how about we go ahead and dive right in, so that way I can give you guys back your weekend. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is one of those coins that I am just more than surprised that folks are actually finding these out in circulation. 1992 Denver Close AM variety Lincoln Memorial cent. We actually had Diggin' Dave find not one, but I believe two of these things here in the last few months. And he makes a living off of coin roll hunting. So these things, my friends, after doing some examination, these things have gone up in value in just the last few years. There was a point in time, guys, that about 2020, 2021, before the pandemic kind of like took hold of the collectibles market and made it explode into this thing that was just probably to some people's eyes way too irrational and unsustainable. But the coin market continues to strengthen each and every single month. This is one of those coins that, again, 2 years ago, that you could have bought for around $1,500 to $1,750 in this particular grade. And this particular one right here is a Mid-State 62 red. Can't believe it's red, though. It looks more red-brown, but that's my personal opinion on this. But it's a coin that essentially had seen a little bit of circulation where it ended up in commerce, for a little bit. But it doesn't exhibit a whole lot of circulation where, in a sense, like people have been touching it. So that's kind of why it has this weird Mid-State 62 grade, which on a modern coin is, it's a strange one. It's a funny grade. It's either high-end 66 or 67, or it's something AU and under. But this, guys, is one of the ultimate chase pieces, and that's the very reason why that we, as coin collectors and enthusiasts, we go out there, we pound the pavement, we go to the banks, we ask for bankrolls, we buy them, and then we hunt through them, and they can take hours to go through in the hopes of finding something like this. So this one right here, ladies and gentlemen, ended up selling for $3,216.36. Again, just a really clown shoesy type of amount of money. These things have doubled in value in this particular grade. Will it slow down? It has to, eventually. I don't know, but you guys make sure you're keeping an eye out on this. See if you're an avid roll hunter like guys like Dave, because you never know when the next big score is going to pop up. And the same goes for this one too. I mean, how many more 1990 proof sets are sitting out there today untouched and unlooked at? I don't know. I would say quite a few, considering that this is a very high vintage proof set by proof set standards. But one of the big chase pieces is the No S 1990 Lincoln Memorial set. They accidentally left off the S mint on the working dies of these things. Whatever happened, I don't know. But this is another big one here. This one also graded out extraordinarily high as a 69 red deep cameo. You can see the No S typed right on the label. This one ended up hammering tonight on Great Collections for $5,850. Man, a lot of money for these coins that, just casual searching can lead up, an Easter egg of sorts. And here's another good one, albeit this one is, it's not the best looking example from a quality standpoint. This one has a lot of the zinc rod bubbles is what you call it, all throughout the coin. But this is indeed the 1984 DDO, or was what we call it, the doubled ear variety. This is a big one, and this is one of the coins that went up in tandem with the whole market about 2.5 years ago. So this one right here is a mid-state 68, which is a pretty high grade. This one was actually a little bit older grade, because it has the old FS attribution numbers that they used to use probably back maybe 8-9 years ago, before it was refined a little bit better. But yeah, this is always going to be a big one. Me personally, this is a coin that I want to personally find out of change rather than going and trying to buy one. I just feel like there's much more satisfaction than that. But this one right here, just a big grade in spite of its warts, ended up selling for $1,042.49. Another big variety, man. If it wasn't for the 69S FS101 double die obverse, this one would take the big crown as far as rarity and the type of variety it is. 1970S, it's a large date, Lincoln Memorial cent. This is another doubled die obverse, and this is the FS101. A lot of your strongest doubling is going to show on Liberty and, more importantly, the motto, "In God We Trust." Again, this is a very strong one, and under magnification, it'll blow you away. This one right here is a mid-state 65 red. Very nice grade. Seems to be, more par for the course. Grade-wise, we don't see too many that grade above and beyond a 65. This one right here ended up selling for $4,359.38. We did have a couple earlier dated Lincoln wheat cents that made the list. Now these, you can make the argument that they're tailored for both registry set owners and for high-end collectors. Typeset collectors will probably want something like this. Big time numismatic investors, that build portfolios for clients, they'll want coins like this as well. 1933D is one of the toughest to find in a 67 red, and now we're staring at one right here today. A very extraordinarily clean example. You've heard me say that word twice, and I mean it in every which way. This one is indeed a 67 red, and I'm proud to say that this one sold for $2,587.50. Coming up next is a very tough date. And for those of you that have been living under a rock, because I constantly talk about 1920s branch mint Lincoln wheat cents, they're just overall some of the ugliest coins ever made of the 20th century. All right, quality wasn't exactly that great during the 20s, and, most importantly, a lot of people used their coins. They really didn't save anything in the 20s, and that's the big reason why that nice mid-state examples tend to not show up in the market that much. So when one does, even if it's just marginally decent, like the 25D you see here, people will still have a need and desire for it, whether it's through a registry set as kind of like a place marker, or if it's just a coin. And keep in mind, there are non-registry set folks that collect high-end Lincoln cents, and they prefer just to have the physical coins in hand. So this is one of them right here. Now it's a 64 plus red, okay, and that's fine. It's a good grade. CAC certified as well, which actually makes a pretty good difference on this one. But look how mushy the strike is here. This is, again, kind of like the norm during this time. This particular coin right here sold for $1,546.88. Call it a tier 2 or a tier 3. It doesn't have to be a mid-state 66 or higher, to have a lot of value. And they sure do. So any Denver and San Francisco mid-state coin of the 20s, they're going to be always coveted. And the final Lincoln cent for this week is one of the major key dates, and a very pretty one at that. This is a 1914D, one of the lowest minted of the series. It's a PCGS Mid-State 64 brown, and very, very pleasing. This is one of the more attractive just brown coins that I've seen here today. And this one right here, I would be proud to own it if I could afford it. But, this is always going to be one of those coins that are a necessity for any completionist of the series. And especially if you're doing a somewhat high-end type of set, you're going to have to cross paths with a coin like this one day. And then, just accept that you have to shell out lots of money to own one. This one right here sold for $4,395.38. There you go. That's a great example of a coin that they're never going to be cheap. It doesn't matter how much you want it to, unless you kind of fell into one, going through Lincoln set lots or whatever. That's going to be as highly graded as this. It's tough. It really is. So we do have a few nickels on tap for today. 1984p. This one's here just for registry set considerations. Otherwise, it's just pocket change to me. This one is a PCGS Mint State 67 with full steps. And by golly, this one looks like it has full steps on the Great Collections provided photos here today. It's one of the more convincing sets of steps that I've ever seen on a 1980s era of Jefferson nickel. So I will give them that. This one is legit. So this one right here sold for $2,304. Just a really nice high price tag. And again, we live in a world where coins of the last 40 years, they have no problem selling for these extraordinary kind of like price tags. And you see, that's the third time I use that word. They're just being scooped up due to this newfound collecting direction in registry sets. And the same goes for 62 here, although one of the more tougher dates. However, this one is a nice staggering 67 full steps by PCGS. And, one thing that you're missing on this coin compared to the previous one is that strong luster. During the 50s and 60s, they really had a hard time showcasing luster on fresh struck coins. And, this one doesn't look all that great. It looks circulated, but it's not. This is a true blue mid-state high-end coin. This one right here sold for $2,925. Again, that's the norm for these. And one of my favorites of beautiful, lustrous Silver Wartime era nickel, 1945p, is one of the more common dates to find of this type. PCGS gave this one a mid-state 67 full steps, and I think that one is correct on here, showing primarily blast white features in terms of the overall appearance of this coin, but also has a little bit of original skin on there. Kind of an off-colored tone to it. So this one right here, one of my favorites for today, sold for $2,364.75. Now, this is probably going to be one of the more remarkable coins you're going to see on the list. Okay, the price tag is very high, but let me tell you this. It has nothing to do with the coin. The coin just exists in this particular scenario. So this is a 1938D Buffalo nickel. Check out the grade. Mid-state 65, right? You look at any other mid-state 65 in the market, graded other, by PCGS or NGC or whoever, and that's just a $60 coin. So why in the world did this one that we're staring at here sold for $9,030.38? Is it a rare variety? Nope. Is it a dashing-looking variety? No, but you can find some on these. It's the graded holder, ladies and gentlemen. Check out the label. This is a OGH white label. This is part of one of the first 900 coins that PCGS had ever graded. And this is more for the grading crowd out there who are PCGS fanboys for the most part. They pay a lot of money to own these original white labels because they were very short-lived. It was probably through the first maybe 1,000 to 1,200 graded examples that they switched over from a white label to green that we're all used to seeing today. Albeit the coin is very nice and pretty. It's got original nice toning. It's just not a very expensive coin by the coin standards that we know it. It's all about the graded slab. This is one of those instances where it's by the slab, not the coin. It's really backwards, but yeah, $9,000 for this thing. If I found one, believe me, I'd be selling it in a heartbeat. Now, getting back to what I call normal, 1936p Buffalo nickel. It's a very common date, by the way. However, this one is an NGC mid-state 67 plus, and it's also got a CAC green bean as well. So when you put all that together, a very nice high grade, which is pretty close to the top, along with the CAC sticker, you have a coin that sold for $1,802.14. All right, we are on to the little 10-cent pieces that we all loathe to love. But anyways, 1953 that you see here is a proof coin. A 1953 proof set is very pricey. It's easily $250 to $300 in today's market. Very low mintage and quite scarce when it comes to ultra cameo or deep cameo type coins. The cameo frosts never really lasted too long through the first maybe 1 to 200 strikes. They just really flattened out to the point where all of the frosty areas on this coin will be more kind of mirrored and glossy. And that's more, the norm, again, for those type of coins. However, we have a Proof 67 Ultra Cameo here. Even the little Roosevelt dime in Ultra Cameos getting a little bit of love as well. This one sold for $2,976.13. Wow, just amazing price tag. But also keep in mind, any one of the coins in this particular set that has Ultra Cameo contrast, keep an eye out for those because those are going to be equally valuable, if not more. There were 2 Mercury dimes, and this one we probably have an inkling of an idea as to why this one's here on the list. 1931, semi-tough, date. It's not a key or anything, but the older we get into the 30s and 20s, the crazier the prices can be for mid-state examples. So this one is just a mid-state 67 plus with all of that splashy toned color on both sides of the coin. Does not have full bands, so I just wanted to make that clear. It's also got CAC green bean sticker on there as well. And this one sold for $7,018.88. And then our other Mercury dime on the list is this 1930. Again, same as the previous coin, although this one is just a blast white example. NGC this time graded this one as a 67 plus with full bands. So it's got a tremendous strike on there. This one ended up at $3,549.38. All right, we have 3 quarters, and that's it. I'm giving you back your Memorial Day weekend. Thank you guys again for tuning in. And then all of these Washington quarters are just, we know where they're heading to. They're all registry set beat stick type coins. 1981p is not a rarity as a date itself, but in high grades like this one, which by the way is a 67 plus, they are quite scarce, and bidders tend to fight for these tooth and nail. This one right here ended up at $1,480.50. So, yeah, the rationale here is don't try grading these yourself if you're thinking you got one that's 67 plus. They have to be quite clean. And the proof, not proof coin, which is the 1967 special mint set coins. Again, much like the other proof dime that we saw a few moments ago, these are really tough to find cameo designation, especially ultra cameo like this NGC graded specimen, which is a 68 by the way, which is just huge in the collectibles world today. But yeah, this is a big one right here. It's very seldom do you see ultra cameo designation or appearances on any of these special mid-set coins. This one sold for $2,080.12. And the final coin, again, we're just beating down more proof set kind of know-how and education. 1959 proof sets are affordable by, some of the other, I guess, pricing standards of various earlier proof sets. Like, for example, 59 proof sets can be had for between $35 and $40 today. So it's very reasonable that if you wanted to, only because I know there's not a boatload of people that are actually examining these things these days, you could still do really well by making it your business to find strictly ultra cameo or deep cameo coins from any proof set from about 1972 and earlier. And if you're able to do that, and they grade out subsequently like this monstrous grade, like for example, this is a Proof 68 deep cameo on this 59 quarter. I mean, you can really make a really good amount of cash. It could be your side hustle, in some aspects, and it's definitely something that you can do. At the very least, if you didn't want it to be kind of like this, like side passion, side hustle type affair. Just know in the back of your mind that if you come across like proof sets, like at swap meets, flea markets, or maybe you're doing garage sales, and you just happen to ask someone, "Hey, do you have any coins?" or whatever the case may be, and they whip out some of these proof sets, which most people have, then it's a foregone conclusion that this is a possibility here of some sort of like lottery hit, without really doing too much. So yeah, this is such a beautiful coin. Like, for instance, this one did sell for $3,260.25. Pretty crazy that this coin and the first coin on today's MMR are approximately $40 apart, so yeah, just really wild. And it's going to be fun to see how things shake up after this weekend when summer is going to be kicking off here in a few weeks. And, the expectation is that the market will cool down, quiet down a little bit. Moderns will be the first to kind of take a little bit of a brunt or a hit on the secondary market. Either that, or the auction companies are just going to lay off posting some of their highline hits. kind of like the 1931 Merc dime. Well, maybe not that, but if there's a like super modern post 1960 coins that have a value of 10 grand or more, you might see them kind of wait maybe till the fall season. I don't know. We'll see. It really depends on the consignee if they want to wait that long to make some money. So there you go. That's going to go ahead and do it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the good old Monday market report by yours truly, Sean at Blue Ridge Silverhound. I want to thank you guys for all your views and support. Great news. My Uncle Jim finally made it home. He's weak. He's using the walker and all that stuff. And, we're going to visit him tomorrow on Monday for Memorial Day just to see how things are. I know that he was going to be visiting the oncologist before he left the hospital. So I wanted to see how things, kind of resulted as part of that conversation. But I'll let you guys know. Thank you guys again for all of your support through this matter. It's been a very emotional, very taxing ride. I haven't been sleeping too well, and I'm hoping to catch a few more Z's here really soon. So you guys take care. Have a great week. Enjoy the rest of your 3-day weekend, and I'll see you on the next coin video. So long, guys.